Ladies and gentlemen, today's guest is probably got the biggest balls in all of mixed martial arts. Stu Dare is a man that recently retired about a year ago after a welterweight fight with Alden Bates, who is now the Hex Fight Series welterweight champion. Stu Dare retired after, I think it was close to a 15-year pro career, where he fought the likes of the UFC's Jake Matthews, Steve Kennedy. He even fought Israel Adesanya, of course, the former UFC middleweight champion. Stu Dare has fought just about everyone at welterweight and middleweight. I don't know if you... How this fight came about is last week we were having a chat with Mr. Navajo Stirling, who's out of City Kickboxing. And he's a 2-0 light heavyweight, basically City Kickboxing prodigy. In the interview, which you can hear on Australian MMA, he broke the news that he was taking on a little man called Stu Dare. Now, fast forward, we're having a chat to Stu Dare, and they will be competing against each other May 4th, Hex Fight Series 30 at Trust Arena in New Zealand. Hit up hexfightseries.com to find out a little bit more. But it kind of shocked us all because Stu Dare retired as a welterweight, and Navajo Stirling, I mean, light heavyweight fights at heavyweight, it was incredible. And this fight will be at light heavyweight. And we are all thinking, what the hell? A welterweight coming out of retirement to fight a light heavyweight prodigy and probably the best talent to come out of City Kickboxing since Israel Adesanya. It was shockingly confusing. But we find out from the great man, Stu Dare, who trains out of HCC in Tasmania. Some of his training partners, Rob Wilkinson, who previously in the PFL, walked away with $1 million in the PFL. So Rob Wilkinson, absolute stud, ironically, also fought Israel Adesanya when he was in the UFC. So a lot of names, we're dropping heaps. Let's pick them all up. The one man that you've got to focus on right now is Stu Dare, who is an Australian MMA legend, and he talks about his May 4th fight with Navajo Stirling in Auckland, New Zealand. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Stu Dare. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Australian MMA legend, Stu Dare. Mate, welcome.
G'day. Hello, everyone. G'day, Mitch.
Look, now, mate, you are taking on a man that has competed at heavyweight, Navajo Stirling. He is the City Kickboxing prodigy, of course, the team of Israel Adesanya, Dan Hooker, and he is the prodigy who has fought at light heavyweight. Your last fight, you retired at welterweight. You take him on May 4th, Hex Fight Series 30 in New Zealand. I think everyone is asking, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah, you're right. I'm getting the same questions. Look, towards the end of my career, cutting weight was a bit of an issue. I walk around at 90 kilos, so you know what? I've just got to go in there and be myself.
Like, I mean, your last fight, I mean, you had a boxing fight and whatnot, but your last MMA fight, you were done.
Yep.
How long did it take before you got the itch?
Well, so it took didn't take long. You know, I've been continuously training, helping all the boys that are fighting. Like, it doesn't stop. Like, when I say retire, you can't retire from being there. The Tumbleweed's forever. So, I think it was more the weight cut, and also I had issues going on at home with the family, and it was a very stressful time at home at that particular point for that fight. So it was a bugger of that fight. So,
talk us through, how does this fight come about?
Okay, well, I've put word out that I'm coming back to middleweight. I'm going to fight a middleweight, and then I've been talking to my manager Jez for a while. And then I remembered how shit it is in the middleweight division getting fights. Because I was obviously a middleweight for a long time with Wilco and Priscus and all them boys. And I'm like, geez, if I'm up here, you can't, you've got to be lenient on your range from, pretty much from 84 to 93. So, I'm getting old now. So, this is the next prodigy. I fought the last prodigy coming out of City Kickboxing. 7 years later, I will fight the next prodigy again. And he is a bit bigger, so be it. I'll just get there and throw the corpse at it and see what happens.
I was gonna say you're a fighter's fighter. I mean, you fought not just that prodigy. You fought you Jake Matthews. You fought literally anyone. Have you ever turned down a fight?
Not for the turn down a fight. Have I turned down a fight? I don't think so. Maybe for the wage. If it was a, a bit of a stingy wage, I might back on it. Um, no, not really. I'm there. I've got the heart to stand. That probably has been my issue, is my heart to stand and bang when I'm a grappler. um, but no, I'm good. I'm good.
Well, I mean, I guess we've got to ask. Like, you got a tall task ahead. I mean, where are you at then mentally with your MMA career? Is it just to keep it going? Is it just tough fights that get you out of the bed in the morning, or is it title aspirations? Like, what is it now?
Well, stimulation for a fight has always been an issue again for me. Like, Rob, every time Rob goes into a fight, he kills the bloke, doesn't he? I think I've worked out of 26 pro fights, 5 of them I've wanted to kill him. And each time I slaughtered him. So I really have to summon my Robert Wilkinson and get in there and get the job done, don't I?
So you're going in there trying to take Navajo Stirling's head off.
I'm there for the counting. There's no one else in Tassie qualified, so I'm the next one off the ranks.
Are you aware of Navajo?
I am aware that he's he's a lean, fast kickboxer. He's won that 8-man tournament a couple of times. He's young. He's tall. How tall is he, by the way? Do you know that?
I think he's 6'3", 6'4".
6'4". Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he's tall. He's going to be fit. Yeah. Yeah. I've got my work cut out for me. Don't worry about that. I'm thinking about it.
I mean, yeah, you've done some rounds. I mean, you've been in the cage with literally some of the best fighters that have ever fought. Looking back now, like the fights against like Israel Adesanya, are you like, oh man, I was in the ring with him, or are you just like another guy?
Uh, it's another. A lot of people do. That is, people are like, oh, you fought Israel. Yeah. I just want to fight the best. I'm not going to get anyone that isn't the best. I don't think. I don't get the option of the the fresh blokes off the. That's where I stuffed up with my career. I think 2011 I fought Stephen Kennedy,
Mm,
who was at the top of his game.
yeah.
So like I didn't get that experience, working out my tools and that shit. So, but I've got my style. I'm a martial artist. If it's gonna work, it's gonna work. I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm young. My body is capable. I'm grateful to be in this position where I can take these fights.
How old are you now?
37. I'm 38 this year. Yeah, so.
You feeling better than ever?
Yeah, I actually shout out to my sponsor Toddy Tatnell, who has been paying for my physio bill for the last year and a bit, so which has been really handy. So I've learned a lot about the bodies. I've fixed years of injuries. Yeah, I've got no injuries at the moment. I'm feeling good.
Because you're from the old school era where you'd fight at halftime of a kickboxing show in the back of a car park. And how much have you seen the growth of the sport change, not just in fighting, but like you said, like even looking after your body?
Well, you know, to fight at the top level, you've got your work cut out for you. There's nutrition and just the amount of work that you need to do to fight at that level. There's a lot there. Sorry, can you ask that question again? I've lost where you.
About like the changes over the years of maybe looking after your body as opposed to what you would have done. Maybe you just would have sparred nonstop for 8 weeks straight 10 years ago, where now it's a little bit different, or physio.
Right.
Yeah.
The first 7, I think up to about 2016, that first 6, 7 years, you're doing 2, 3, 4 sessions a day. You're doing more than what, just because you're so excited and keen. But I'm like a cat. I am. I get plenty of rest. I like to pounce.
Um, Now, before I focus on you a little bit more, I mean, you mentioned your boy Rob Wilkinson. I mean, how good is it to see him back? And can you shed any light about the sort of shadows he had to come out from over the last year? Like, where's he at mentally?
Yeah, that was great to see him get that win this year on PFL. That was good. Yeah, it was good. I was a little bit of worried when he first come back because he had a bit of podgy stuff going on. But we got back into the old school training of it, and we battled away, and I think he's mentally ready for another $1 million this year.
And speaking of $1 million, I want to ask you this. You've been around for a very, very, very long time. What is
Yeah,
the
15 years now.
what is the least amount of money you've fought for?
Yeah. Don't tell him, but I'd probably fight for nothing.
Well, I mean that's the thing, isn't it? Like everyone knows that like for them to get a welterweight / middleweight to come and fight Navajo Stirling, everyone's going, oh, they must have thrown a huge bag at him. But it's like, I got a feeling that Mr. Stu Dare just went, I'm going to take that fight.
Well, do you know what? Like when I had that thought about, because it was only recently, I thought, geez, I'm sitting here trying to fight fights at middleweight. I need to broaden my range. I'm gonna have to fight the bigger guys, if I don't want to cut weight. And it was only like 2 hours after that thought, I rang Jez. I said, "Oh, you got any minute?" He said, "No, no." I said, "Is there any heavyweights?" I said, "Is there any heavier matches on the card?" And he goes, "Oh, there's a light heavyweight. This bloke." And I'm like, well, "Get me on that. I want that one." I'm keen. City Kickboxing is 0-3 to me, HTC, my boys. I get to go to their turf. Let's see what the Tumbleweed can do.
Where did the nickname the Tumbleweed come from?
They come from my coach Priscus. I don't know. I suppose I'm known for tumbling around in some odd positions, maybe, or
You'd never asked?
I think if you seen me train, I'd tumble around like a fucking idiot. So yeah, I'm like a big kid, really. So
How much has your fighting style changed over the years?
oh, heaps, heaps. Oh yeah, no, I think that's the thing that gets everyone chasing is you're endlessly evolving your style. You're endlessly trying new things. Then people are, getting stronger. You see in the UFC, strikers are winning, and then wrestlers are winning, and it changes over the time. And yeah, it's just an endless learning. And I think I'll be doing it till I'm 60. I'll have a white beard going down here, and I'll be hopefully levitating.
I mean, I'm assuming that when you retire, because I put out a post that you retired, and everyone was very yeah.
Look, my English has never been the best. We'll just say I'll retire from welterweight.
Well, this is the thing. It's like you're probably a guy. You strike me as a guy that's never going to retire.
Well, look, I'm not silly. If the brain starts to go, like, I don't actually get hit much. I don't believe I get hit much. So I will play it smart. I have kids. I will play it smart.
Yeah.
I've still got all my teeth. I've been in a lot of fights. I've still got all my teeth.
I think I mean, if I'm going this far back, I think I was even doing, and this is when I first started, an assignment for uni, and I was doing like a video on Steve Kennedy. And I think, did he catch you with a wheel kick and then you pretty much just got back up?
No, it was a step up kick.
Yeah, but you were like, you took a shot and then you were just like, you were fine. You seem to like, even when you get kind of stopped, you don't get like out cold. You don't get like starch type thing. So I was going to ask you about the brain. Does it feel like it hasn't taken as many knocks?
Look, I come from rugby. Like I played 15 years of rugby before I started fighting. So I use my head as a battering ram. So you tell me about what is it called? CTE or something?
Yeah,
something like that. Ask rugby about that. I'm learning to avoid the shots on the head.
And mate, talk to me about just Tassie in general. And I mean, I'm a basketball fan, so of course the old defend the island and all that sort of stuff. When Tasmania like walked away with it just feels like it's yeah, you're Australia, but it's almost like you guys versus the rest of Australia.
It's always been like that, hasn't it? No one's really been fond of Tasmania. I've always loved the place. I've been about the world. I think I've been to about 13 countries, and Tassie. I think I'm sitting in the right where I need to be. It's in the pristine part of the world, I think.
Oh, I love it. And May 4th, how does this fight go down? I see that you're not in New Zealand yet. So when are you heading over?
Heading over on Wednesday. I think I got no weight to cut, so it's a bit unusual like that. I think I dropped about 2 kilo when I learned of the fight, just because the body wanted to lose weight, and you went into shock. Uh, so yeah, no weight to lose. I suppose I can get out and see a bit of New Zealand and just really focus on the job that I need to do, which is against a young, fit, capable lad. So I'm going to have to make sure I'm 100% turned on and ready to go.
But make no mistake, you are coming out there to get the win, aren't you?
Oh yes, oh yes. I'm not just there to make up numbers. I'm there to try and put some hurt on this bloke and get the win and get the win.
And mate, finally, before I let you go, after it's all said and done, because it nearly was, and now it continues. After it's all said and done, how does Stu Dare want to be remembered in mixed martial arts?
Uh, I never really think of myself as a memory, but uh, just someone that was willing to have a go.
Awesome, mate. I mean, you got absolute balls of steel. I'm excited for this matchup. Yeah, it's incredible. You deserve so much credit for stepping up, and I like go shock the world.
Yeah. Hey, well, I've got a shot, don't I?
Love it, brother. Take it easy.